Welcome to Best Life by You, the podcast dedicated to helping you overcome challenges around nutrition, mindset, fitness, and relationships while prioritizing holistic health and wellness. I'm your host, Julia, and today we have a super special guest, my former client and now friend, Krista Perkins. So hello, Krista. Hi.
Hi,
Hi. I'm so
it's so
happy
good
to
to see
have you
you.
here. I
I'm
know.
glad to be here.
Yes, so I'm gonna just dive into really, Krista, I know we worked together a few years back and
Mhm.
you've shared some amazing testimonies. Like one of your testimonies has been like so heartwarming with me of just like your experience. I remember you posted one and I think I screenshot it and I was like, this is so beautifully written. Like you have such a good heart and you're so expressive and so good with that. But prior to that, I'd love for you to just share your story because I know that we met each other through a vegan company. I worked with you through them, and I would love to just hear about your experience, where you were prior to us working together, while also just hearing about where you've been now, any challenges that you've been going through. So feel free to go ahead and share your story.
Oh my gosh. So I realized that my health and wellness was taking a nosedive. Several family members were passing away of preventable disease. And this was all starting to come to a head in 2014 or so. And I realized I needed to learn more about nutrition and wellness. And that's what led me to learn about veganism and becoming a vegan. And I really was the only person in probably 100-mile radius that knew the word vegan. And
You want to share where you're from also on here?
yeah, I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's a little town south of there, Uniontown. So that's where my hometown is. I'm originally a Yankee, but now I'm in Alabama. Um, it's quite a difference coming to the South for sure. It's much more pleasant outside down here for sure. But yeah, it is a little bit harder when it comes to finding more vegan options down here. So I really struggled with the transition to veganism when I was from 2014 to 2017. It was a struggle, and I was not doing well with my health, and I was trying so hard, but I stumbled onto your former company and I was like, this is what's up. And when I met you, that's when I finally started getting some progress with my health and
Wow.
wellness. And I still use your training program
Good.
today. And, you are like the person who dug me out of the pit. I mean, it's like I was so stuck, and I needed somebody with the inspiration and the know-how and the nutritional knowledge to say, here, eat this, do these things, and we're going to get through this.
And you're
So,
here. Yeah.
yeah, it was wonderful. And we corrected my fertility, and now I have a beautiful baby boy. And now we are recovering postpartum because I did have a very long recovery of postpartum. But we are recovering well now. I can say that we are safe.
Good.
We are through it. Everything is great. And I'm 40 pounds down from when the baby came. So we got 40 more
Hey,
pounds to go.
you're you've been, yeah, I mean, you have come such a long way, but even just my time, like when working with you for the time we did it, I was just so impressed by your discipline and your inspiration and your motivation. Like you're so thoughtful and such a person who was like, I'm investing in myself and I'm going 100% in and I want to do well. And that just goes to show your character of who you are. So I'm sure you being a mother, a wife, and all of that, it bleeds into all those areas. So really you and you could even talk about you owning a business and things of that nature, because I think that's also something just for people listening. Anybody who has had issues with fertility or issues with jobs where they're like they're on their feet all day and it's hard to eat. Like Krista, I would just love for you to talk more about that because that was something we overcame as well of you owning a salon and running your clients and doing all of that, where a lot of people will just say like, I can't, I'm a hairstylist, I can't, I'm a pilot, I can't do this, I can't make the time for it. So if you want to go ahead and share a little bit about that and that time, I
Yeah.
would love you to talk about that just to like inspire others because so many people are like, I can't fit in exercise, I can't do it. So talk us through your schedule, how you got through all that because it's very inspirational. I just remember talking to you and I'm like, this woman is doing it all.
It's like you absolutely have to. Like when you taught me about food as fuel, how can I be expected to perform in all these facets and I'm not taking care of myself? Like it has to be done. I get up at 5. There is a book called the 5 a.m. Club. I think I read it while I was with you in the program. And it's important. You have to be first or you will never get served. And it's just like you can't pour from an empty cup. You got to get up at 5, do the walk. I go through my morning inspirational stuff. I do all my prayer work
Mhm.
on headphones while I'm walking on my walking pad. I get as many steps as I can, probably not 60 minutes or so on my walking pad, and then I move into my weight training. And that takes me till about maybe 7:30.
Mm,
And my son doesn't wake up until 8, so I have
great.
time to get up and get moving. And then it's time to confirm the clients for the business. I'm a hairstylist. I am a sole proprietor. I run my own suite. I don't own a salon. I just have my suite.
Yeah.
It's just
But
me and my own
still,
little box.
not
But
just, that's still a
yeah,
lot to do.
it's a lot, but I don't have to pay other people.
Yeah.
I just have to maintain my own guests,
Yeah.
and I have to do all my own confirmations. I am my own front desk. I don't delegate anything to auto scheduling online or anything. I do it all myself. But you just have to make that schedule and literally use your Google Calendar in your phone or your iPad or whatever that you use, and you have to schedule everything its own appointment,
Yeah.
including your meals, including your fitness time, including your, I'm going to sit still for the next 30 minutes
Yep.
and stare at the sunset, and have a word with the Lord. And
Yes.
then we'll continue.
Yes.
And the biggest thing is you have to intentionally set these times and you treat them like you're having an appointment that you're being paid for. Because if you keep on pouring into everyone else's cup without filling your own,
Yep.
you will become burnt out and slowly you'll start losing your grip on your business and your financial freedom because you're going to start declining, and you can either take your breaks or your body will plan them for you by giving you
Hmm.
sickness and
Yep.
damaged health. So
Preach. Preach it, Krista.
y'all take your breaks. No, but yeah, it's mostly like that I work my schedule from 1 to 7. I usually have a small meal at 7:30 in the morning, and then I go to work. I have a small meal around 3, and I have another small meal around 5:30, and these are while colors are processing. So it's like money is moving, but you don't have to book a client in every single dead space on the book.
Mm.
You can apply that color and go sit back there and eat. It only you don't need to eat a meal. It can be a sandwich or an apple
Yeah,
or a Cliff Bar. Like just chew something up or use
it's
one of
true.
those Owen drinks,
Yeah,
the Owen
my
32.
go-to.
I mean, you got to swallow something
Yeah.
when it comes to, your daily, because I'm the world's worst and you know it, that I would get up, not ever make time for food, and
Oh, I remember those
I
pregnancy
would eat
times.
1,200 calories at 7:30 at night and fall into my bed and
Mm.
wonder why am I 170 pounds and feel unwell. You know?
Yes. But you've been, I would say, like, just to chime in, I mean, even the small meals that you're eating, and we know, like, something I love to coach to, and this is hard. It's like, even my clients now, just like the mindset of muscle weighs more than fat, right? The number on the scale is just a number on the scale. It's not your everything, right? Your whole body composition will reflect through progress pictures. Like, that's why I love doing progress pictures to show that where you were prior, and I'm sure you've seen it prior to pregnancy, during pregnancy, post pregnancy, like those things matter because if you're
So much.
constantly working out, you have that whole body composition, recomposition where, you can be 140 pounds or 170 pounds, but then maybe look a whole different way when you're training and everything of that nature. But it's very admirable what you've been doing with just your schedule, fitting in a baby at home. Like, having a husband, dedicating time to your marriage, like those things are they present a lot of challenges as well of owning a business and things of that nature. And a lot of people will use that literally as an excuse, but you're right about the appointment. I'm the same way. Like I'll put in I've just started this. I turned 30 the other day. So I was like, no, we are moving things forward. So for me, like from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., except on Mondays, Saturdays and Sundays, but Tuesday through Thursday or Tuesday through Friday, I set up in my calendar 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. is like my time. That's prayer, that's reading, that's at the gym, that's working out, that's sauna, that's steam room, that's whatever it is. Cardio, all of that happens within that 4 hour block. And then, okay, 10:30 is a half hour transition time. 10:30 is when I start working. Some days I am working till 9 o'clock. It's, building a business and whatnot, but it's admirable to hear that of you because I will say just for myself, doing that for a few days, I already feel the difference and the energy that I can bring to my clients is so much better now that I'm pouring more into myself and making these non-negotiable times. And I'm sure same with you. Your
Mhm.
clients, your son, like all these parts of your life, you're able to pour more into because you get what you need to get done. You have the food you're fueling your body with, you have the time you have for working out. So it's really, again, just admirable.
Oh, thank you. You taught me a
Yeah.
lot of it though, You helped me with a lot of this. You got me on the right page because girl, I was not
Yeah.
before I met you. I
But
was a
look at you. You're
mess.
thriving.
Use the advice though. Don't just
Yeah.
read it. So many people consume the information
Mm-hmm.
and do not do anything with it. And it's so, so important to actually utilize what you're learning from your trainers, from your mentors, from your coaches.
Yep.
Learn from these people and do it. Don't just listen and think that by osmosis, being near these people is going to make your goals come true. It's
Yep.
not. You got to do what they are doing and what they are telling you to do.
Yep.
And that was the biggest thing I had to really swallow. It's like I can give you all this money and I can just hope that it sticks eventually, but you got to really move the stuff around for yourself and do it.
Yeah.
Make
And
the work happen.
and again, you've been a testament to it, and you are going to get to where your goal is just
Yeah.
because of who you are. You know what to do. You're like, I'm
Mhm.
going to get back on track. I'm getting it. And even I would love to talk about a little bit because I do have a lot of women listeners, and
Yeah.
I would love to talk more about just like your process with if you don't mind sharing, like
Yeah.
infertility and what that process was, because there are many women. I mean, I'm in New York where it's more common that you're seeing more mothers at like late 30s, 40s, mid 40s. I know it's also an economic thing because I'm
Hmm.
like in New York, but just, if you wouldn't mind sharing that story, even with nutrition, of like, what did the doctor tell you? How did you figure out you needed a change in your diet? Like, talk me through why you went vegan, what's gonna, like, just a little bit more in detail. So,
Yeah.
um, just to, I guess, give hope and inspiration to others listening.
Okay. Well, it started when like I was a young girl. I started my cycles very early and they were very tough when I was a little girl. So my mom put me on birth control thinking that's what you do to straighten your cycle out, right? Well, I stayed on that birth control for a
Mm,
very
I remember.
long time and um I it just became a part of my life, every day at 10 p.m. we have to take this pill and that's just that. But after being married for a little while and getting financially established and getting comfortable, it's like, okay, let's start thinking about these babies. I was about 25-ish when I was like, okay, it's time to get off these pills and let's make a baby. I've got a good husband, I've got a stable financial
Yeah.
situation, we are good. And I stopped taking the pills and it just didn't happen. It didn't materialize. And I'm like, well, what's going on here? So a couple weeks go by, a couple months go by, you keep trying, and then I got these terrible pains, and they were ovarian cysts, and that was happening. I was getting 5 centimeter cysts on my right ovary that were because the doctor said because I wasn't taking birth control anymore, and I'm like, okay, so I've messed up my hormones for life. What'll I do? And she says, well, you either have to get on IVF and we can stabilize your hormones to make babies like this, or you can get back on your birth control and decide you're not having them. And I'm like, yeah, but I just kind of want to let the Lord drive.
Yeah.
I don't want to just do that. I don't want
Yeah.
to take IVF. I don't that's too far out of my demographic. I
Yeah.
cannot reach those financial heights. It's like if I'm not just gifted this baby, I cannot pay for it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, I've got to change. And like I said earlier, my father ended up with colon cancer. Most of his colon had to be removed. My uncle passed away of a widow-making heart attack. My brother-in-law had a heart attack followed by a stroke, and all of these happened within like a few months. My mother's husband passed away of various types of cancers, and mostly colon cancer. So this is when I'm digging
Yeah.
up what causes colon cancer, and let me figure out how to avoid that, and what's causing all these hormonal issues inside of my body. What can I do to fix this? Because I'm not taking birth control anymore. It's poison.
Mhm.
And some people may
Yeah.
not agree,
Yeah.
but it's
But it's
just that
okay.
yeah,
You are allowed
yeah.
to share what you want.
Yeah, it's just I didn't want to get back on birth control. I wasn't going to take IVF, and I was discovering some big failures in the healthcare community as far as there are empty gaps. They'll feed you pills, they'll feed you shots, but they won't tell you how to fix your hormones without giving you more synthetic hormones or giving you something from another creature. And I was like, all right, let me figure this out. So I go Googling and, forks over knives, the earthlings, um, what the health was a big
Mhm.
one. Um, and I start really digging. And that's when I started realizing you have got to cut all animal products out of your life. And I discovered the China study and then
Mhm.
Rip Esselstyn. And I started really reading to the point that am I still a hairstylist or am I becoming a low-key nutritionist?
Probably
Um,
low-key nutritionist as well. So you can probably highlight that underneath
It's
because
a,
yeah,
it's a
same.
special interest of mine. It really is. I
Yeah.
really enjoy learning about this
Yeah.
stuff. It's something I deep dive in. But that's one of the things I started realizing, okay, you got to clean this up. And in the process of cleaning up, that's when I found your services, and that's when I was able to really learn how do you actually nourish yourself when you were born into a family that eats a meat and three for every meal and has for the
Yeah.
last three generations. No one is vegan. Like it's you have
Yeah.
to go to three grocery stores. The first time you sent me my grocery list, I went to three different stores and had to order half of it
Yeah.
on Amazon because it's not like I'm in a food desert. I'm in
Yeah.
Alabama. You can grow anything in this dirt.
Yeah.
And but it's just that they use so much of it for the poor cows and the chickens, and it's like that food is damaging my body and making my hormones not work right. And dairy products especially would tear my belly up so bad. I would feel immediate problems
Yeah.
in my digestive tract if dairy got in me.
Mhm.
And that was like one of the biggest moments of, okay, we've got to fix this and get your hormones on track. So, with you guys helping me, I
Yeah.
stayed off of birth control and I didn't have very many problems with my cycle or cysts or anything. It
Yeah.
all really calmed down quite a bit just by
Changing your
eating the
diet.
proper food and feeding myself properly because as you well know, I was underfed and I had terrible meal timing and I wasn't caring for myself properly. And when you finally convinced me that it was okay to eat
Yeah.
and early in the day and you could have small meals throughout the
Yep.
day, I really feel like that's what balanced my hormones enough to get me to a point where I would start burning fat and gaining muscle
Mhm.
when my insulin resistance calmed down. And
Mhm.
I am now perfect as far as insulin resistance is concerned. My labs were getting perfect. And I started really succeeding with you guys, getting really like,
Mhm.
I'm doing this. We are getting
Yeah.
somewhere. Like, I'm starting to think, do I want to compete for physique? Is that something I might want to
Oh
do?
yeah.
Because I was
I
like,
remember.
you helped me dig my abs out, and
Yeah.
I hadn't seen those since I
I
was 14 years
remember
old.
that.
And so I dug these beautiful abs out with you and Miss Emma who helped,
Yes, my girl.
and she took over after you went on your education journey,
Yeah.
and I was starting to really think maybe I'll do physique. And so I had a minor medical procedure done to just get me through a little hump I was
Yeah.
going through. And I was recovering from that procedure, finding out, Miss Perkins, you're pregnant. And I'm like, excuse me? I thought you said that couldn't happen. And I'm
God's
like, are you
timing.
sure?
God's
Are you
timing.
sure? 'Cause I am 39 years old. My husband is 49 years old.
Yeah.
We wanted to have children 11 or 12 years ago. And it's like, how? Okay. Okay. And
It's
so I was
beautiful.
37 when I got pregnant, and it was a big surprise. I mean,
We're not.
I mean, I was just at this point like, that it could not happen. It could not happen. I stopped taking the birth control, I think a little while after I started with you,
Yeah.
because I didn't, the hormones were
Been like
making me
4 years.
tired and lethargic. Yeah.
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 They were making me tired and lethargic. It was around 2020 time. Yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
2021 October, that's what it
Yeah.
was. And it took a couple years of eating right and nourishing my body and stop thinking food is the enemy
Yeah.
and actually like balancing my hormones through the movement and the get
Yeah.
the endorphins moving and stuff. And that's what I really think it was, is y'all got my hormones
Yeah.
balanced out from all of the poison I took from when I was a young girl. And that's just what they knew to give you. It's not like they
Yeah.
poisoned you, but it's
Yeah, but
just
some of them don't. Like that's what they learn is the
hmm
best way to help because to be honest, changing your lifestyle is the hardest thing to ask somebody to do. I
hmm
truly believe. Like if somebody's told they have to change their lifestyle, it's a lot of people wait until their death sentence. They wait until they're told, "Oh, you have this disease." Like there are people I worked with who had stage 4 cancer and they're like, "If I don't change this, I have to, like, they're forced. And
yeah,
doctors, and it's so wild, doctors who are not even vegan promote a plant-based lifestyle. They're like, oh, I'm sorry, you have cancer? Plant-based lifestyle. Oh, you have this?
yeah,
Plant-based lifestyle. Like, plant-based, plant-based, plant-based. It's crazy how much is promoted, but it's
yeah.
not used as a preventative care. That's the thing. A
Social,
lot of people,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, go ahead.
The social barrier is the hardest barrier you
Yeah.
will ever encounter, as far as I have
Yeah.
ever encountered.
Yeah.
It, being the person that brings the lunchbox to the birthday party, being the person that has to have her own meal at Thanksgiving that is cooked 2 days ahead of time because your whole kitchen's about to be contaminated.
Yeah.
And the social aspect is the most difficult stumbling
Yeah.
block I think there is, especially for somebody that's new and is still not completely experienced the results of long-term plant-based eating.
Yeah.
And it's like until you start feeling the change within yourself, you start wondering, am I doing the right thing? I really want my mom's meal
Yeah.
that and it's like sometimes I wonder, are these diseases actually hereditary on a genetic level, or are they hereditary on a habit level? And it's like your family's been eating the same meat and three for the past 3 generations.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why people get to 70 and have heart disease and
It's true.
they can't go any
Well,
further.
I will say the way food is made is a lot different than it was
Oh,
for,
God,
I know
yes.
at least I could speak for my grandparents. Like a
Oh, for
lot of
sure.
people who are older say, no, I don't have issues or I don't have this. And it's like, well, the food quality has also changed a lot
Oh,
in
yeah.
the past, even past 30 years. I mean, look at
hmm
plant-based options. Like they've increased a lot more now. And I think that was something we had shared. Like my mom had colon cancer when I was 15. Thankfully, she's with us today, but it was the same thing. Like my best friend's mom passed away of cancer. My high school boyfriend, his dad had cancer. My cousin had cancer. My grandma had bladder cancer. Like everyone around me was sick, and I was just like, this doesn't add up. Like it's just not
That
adding
just
up.
does it.
And
Yeah.
so that was something. even just looking at the food quality and everything. But the other thing that people don't know, lifestyle, yes, I always say, let's get moving our bodies, let's exercise, drink water, sleep. That's my book. Like my book, I talk through all of these bits. But
Hmm.
the other part is fiber that comes from plant-based sources, and just vitamins, like the importance of nutrients and vitamins from food, because this is what a lot of people will argue. They're like, well, steak is really good for you because it has protein, it has zinc, it has magnesium, it has iron, it has all these things. And I'm like, okay, yeah, but so do lentils.
Hmm.
Protein, all of that, but there's no saturated fat, there's no trans fat, there's no dietary cholesterol, and there's fiber.
Yeah, and
So,
nobody had to die for the lentils.
yes.
You know, I mean, it's like put
So
the big cherry
that's
on the top. You
like
know.
those are it's like that's the simple breakdown of it. It's like,
Hmm.
but I've come to a point even in my coaching where I educate a lot of people on the importance of vitamins and nutrients and fiber and ensuring they're hitting that. And then when I tell them, like, I eat 70 to 80 grams of fiber a day, and they're like, I can't even get to 20. And I'm like, let's try to get to 30. What do you have to do to get to 30? I have to cut out. I have to cut out dairy. I have to cut out this. I have to minimize this, minimize this. And that's the other thing about it is a lot of people just are, I think there's a lack of education around it. And that's where I'm trying to move my heart because, like
Hmm.
you, the social aspect has been really, really challenging. And I'm still in my circle here. I'm still the only vegan, 5.5 years, but it's cool because I train to be very fit, and people ask, "What do you do? What is this?" And I'm like, "Well, I've been plant-based and I live on plants and I do this." And um there's a lot of people who will just kind of either a lot more older populations I notice will give a
Hmm.
stab when you say vegan. So I'm trying to think of like how do we approach this in a way where you'd actually listen to me.
Hmm.
And so I say plant-based. I'm like, okay, plant-based approach, fiber, like fibrous foods that have all your vitamins that you need. Sure, you got to take a B12 supplement. Half the people who eat meat too, taking a B12 supplement. Like, welcome to the club.
Yeah.
Like, it's not,
Every human being that walks on Earth needs a B12 supplement. I don't care what you're eating.
yeah,
I
that's,
don't care what you're eating.
yeah,
You can't get it from, you're not getting it from the meat. You're
no,
not getting it from the dairy. You're not getting it from the plants. You got to take the
yeah.
supplement.
And and this is the other factor of it is like, well, chicken has protein, fish has omegas. And I'm like, well, no, you just need protein. You don't need meat. You need omegas. You don't need fish. Like, yes, there's things, but again, as a coach, like, I'm here to educate and help
Hmm.
inspire and help you be healthier and go in that direction. Like, I'm not going to criticize somebody for
Yeah.
eating a certain way, but I'm going to educate you and provide
Oh, yeah.
resources
As
and
I did
lead
it
you.
too.
Like, that was my one of my best friends. She was not, and she had colon issues at 20 years old. And
Oh
I
my
was like,
God.
"Girl, like can I entertain this idea or can I do this?" And she got herself very healthy. So like
Yeah.
that's the other she's plant-based. So
Hmm.
100% vegan. So she's made that transformation and it's
Yeah.
inspirational. And she said, she's like, you've been very inspiring in it by not being like judgmental or anything and just educating. So that's
Yeah.
really been
Sometimes the V
my
word
heart.
really it irks their soul. I don't know what it is, but if
Yeah.
you can just say plant-based, sometimes you can get in. That's like getting your fingers right in the door frame
Yeah.
at start.
Yeah. It,
Being, just start adding more plants. Use the crowding out methods.
yeah.
Just have a little bit more of this and a little less of that,
Yeah.
and just crowd
That's it.
it.
That's
Mm-hmm.
it. And that's well, and the thing about vegan is the whole lifestyle, which I know we
Mm-hmm.
had talked about. It's like not using animal leather or not using like there are certain products you're not going to use for tested on animals where plant-based is a lifestyle of eating. So
Oh
for a lot
yeah,
of people, it's just start with plant-based of
yeah.
and just
Like let's
start being
start with our
plant-based and
food.
learn. Yeah.
And we'll work
Yeah.
our way through it.
Yeah.
You're not just gonna wait unless you were born into a vegan community
Yeah.
somehow. And I mean, we're talking about the kids that are my son's grandchildren's
Yeah.
age that will be born into vegan
Yeah.
communities. But um, it's like you got a long way to go. I
Yeah.
mean, I ate meat. I did all the things back
Yeah,
then.
me
I
too.
did.
Oh,
I
me
can't
too.
yell at those
Tons of
poor
it.
people. I
Yeah.
was one of those poor people.
Yeah.
And it's just, I just realized before my son came along, I was the youngest person in my family. And I'm a hairdresser, a self-employed hairdresser at that. It's like I'm not going to be able to afford a nursing home to care for me if I get sick or something. And if things happen chronologically, I'll be the last one standing. And I can't afford
Yeah.
to get sick or be pitiful in some way in need of care. And
Hmm.
that's one of the biggest things that moved me in the plant-based direction is it's like, let's start crowding out some of the things that we know are bad. Maybe let's stop smoking cigarettes first,
Yes. But
And
it's the
yeah.
basic lifestyle shifts that
Mhm.
that's where I go back to. I'm like basic lifestyle, like you said, stop smoking cigarettes. Can you drink more water? Can you include fruits, veggies, nuts, seeds, whole grains into your day to day? Even if it's like a piece of bread, whole
Oh
wheat
yeah.
piece of bread. Wonderful. Add some
Dr. Greger's
cashews,
Daily
whatever.
Dozen.
That's
Can you
it.
eat one of those 12
Use
items
that.
today? You know?
Use that and those small things. So it's really like the fact that you've done it, it's been amazing. And how about I'm curious because one day I would love to be a mother, God willing. But how are you raising or have you talked about how you plan to raise your son? What are your hopes for that?
He
Is
is
that
mostly plant-based.
okay?
He
Okay.
is mostly plant-based. I do allow his father to give him food that I
Yeah.
do not approve of, because I just don't want to ziplock him in my vegan
Yeah.
bubble.
Yeah.
Until he decides that
Yes.
it is a thing as far as like this is a lifestyle choice.
Yeah.
He eats 95%
Yeah.
vegan all day, every day. The
Yeah.
whole time he was in my belly, I think there was maybe 3 to 5 transgressions of is
Yeah.
that vegan? But I was starving and I was
Yeah.
grumpy and was lazy.
Yeah.
And the level of hunger that you experience while you're
Oh,
pregnant
I'm
and
sure.
nursing will damage your willpower just a little bit,
Yeah.
especially if other people are helping you a lot and they don't know the rules. They
Yeah.
don't know that they use the wrong broth.
Yeah. It's
They
true.
don't know that the
It's
that
true.
butter's not
Yeah,
vegan. Yeah, I mean, and it's like these are
it's true.
wonderful, kind people who are meaning to do well for you and trying to help you out around your house and
Yeah.
do things for you. And it's like, I'll
Yeah.
just have to pray over this meal a lot.
Yeah.
And
And that's
but yeah,
but
my
that's what
son is
it is.
mostly
There's
plant-based, and
okay.
I intend to keep him that way until he can really communicate with me as to
Yeah.
like, if you want to eat more like mommy, we will eat more like mommy. If you
Yeah.
want to, I will encourage it in
Yeah.
to have him as vegan as possible,
Yeah.
without letting him see the scary, frightening, ugly things in this world until the age appropriate time has come.
Yeah.
Because I do worry about the first time I send him into Chuck E. Cheese with all of his buddies.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm going to feed him before he goes so he's not hungry.
Yeah.
But am I going to lose my mind because he ate a slice of pizza at a restaurant? No.
No.
But it's like,
The grace
I
of
don't want him to feel,
yeah.
I don't want him to feel other or
Yeah.
like he is in a different group or
Yeah.
I don't ever want him to feel isolated. That is the one thing that I've hated about, when I became vegan is it kind of isolated me to a certain degree until I learned how to incorporate it better.
Yeah.
And maturing as a plant-based vegan, it takes a lot of maturity and I'm not going to put that weight on my baby.
Yeah.
He's going to be 99% until he decides that
Yeah.
he wants to go all the way. And then I will do for him like I have done for me. We eat before we go, we eat after we
Yeah.
get back, and try
Yeah.
not to center the event on the food if you know the food is not going to be for your best wellness.
Yeah.
So that's my plan is yeah, I mean he's in the above the 99th percentile.
Yeah.
He is 35 and a half inches tall. He is very smart.
Thriving, doing
He's
well.
tall. He's thriving. He's in a perfect weight. I mean, he's hitting all of his milestones. Like all the people always say, "Oh no, you're gonna have a puny baby if you're making
Yeah, I've
vegan." I'm
heard
like,
that.
he's not puny. He's not
Yeah.
puny. You go in there and try and change his diaper when he doesn't want to be bothered with it, and you let me know how puny he is. It's like you go slide tackle the 18-month-old, okay? Especially if he really has a strong mind about it. And,
Yeah, that's it's
yeah,
good
so
though that you have that like it's good that you have a balance and even like your relationship with your husband like how has that been? Like how do you guys separate that? Because I know also there are many people, me included, who have been in relationships, might have a prior relationship, you're married, so we can learn from
Mhm.
you.
Yeah.
How do you balance somebody who has a different like lifestyle because you're vegan, you don't do leather? Like how do you work through your relationship with your husband? Like I would love to hear that. Like as
That's a good
even for
one, isn't it?
myself.
Well, you see, he sits on this side of I sit here, he sits there, and Nicholas sits in between us. And the thing is I've been with that man since 2003.
Yeah.
He has accepted my many flaws, and I have accepted his many flaws. He has some health concerns centered around his kidneys and his heart, and he is 90% pescatarian now,
Yeah.
which is much better than he's
Yeah.
ever been in his whole life. So
Yeah.
it's been a slow battle of just my food is available.
Hmm.
I have things ready. It's available. You may have it. It's cooked in abundance. And a lot of times he'll eat what I present
Hmm.
99.9% of the time, but he will often have a piece of fish with it.
Yeah.
And it's always cooked separately over
Yeah.
there. There was a period of our marriage where he had pans and I had pans. I had knives, he had knives.
Yeah.
And then as you mature, you realize that the dishwasher has a sterilize function.
Yeah.
You know, so, it's like
Yeah.
we've grown through this together.
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, he eats a traditional standard American diet when I was watching What the Health and Earthlings. Like, and I looked at him like he was a monster for a period of time because I'm like, how could you do this and
Hmm.
know that it's like you're killing the animals and the animals are killing you back. Can't you see that? And
Hmm.
we've had a lot of arguments and discussions and hard nights of discussing. And it's like, this is just one of those things where, just like with your very best friend, he is my very best friend, and I
Yeah.
respect him and I love him, and I would go to the edge of the earth for him. And it's just the fact that I can't expect him to fit in any mold that I decide that I want to suddenly fit in.
Hmm.
I go roller skating every weekend. I wear quads, he wears
Love it.
rollerblades. And he likes rollerblades better because they feel better on his ankles. I like quads better because I can dance in them.
Yeah.
It's just, he does have his differences and I allow him to have them. And I think that's another thing. I mean, we've been married for nearly 20 years now.
Yeah.
And it's like you gotta allow your person to grow at their own rate, and you just
Hmm.
gotta keep watering that flower.
Yeah.
And
Having
the
the
more,
discussions and being
yeah,
open.
talk
Yeah.
about it and don't get angry. Like, don't allow yourself to get heated about it. It's just you have your food, I have my food, and we have our food in the middle. And so Nicholas sits in between us, and I give Nicholas stuff off of my plate. Clay gets stuff off of his
Yeah.
plate. Whatever goes down his belly is what happens, you
Yeah.
know. And
Yeah.
Nicholas chooses 99% of the time, he prefers the tofu to the other stuff. So
Yeah.
it's like, it just seems like he has a natural preference for plant-based today, but he's 18 months old,
Yeah.
so it could always change. But it is hard to put your spouse or your special person into the same box that you want to sit in if they've never been in it before and they were not raised that way. And they just have different belief sets, and you just slowly got to move gently and just be kind and be like, well, I have this quinoa just sitting here. If you'd like some, I have extra. I can either meal prep it or you can help
Yeah.
me eat it. And more often than not, he's going to help me eat it. And if I have meal
Yeah.
preps
That's
in the
sweet.
refrigerator, you are 90 seconds to a meal. Or did you actually want to thaw that fish and cook it? Because I'm not
Yeah.
cooking it. I won't touch it. There's a
Yeah.
rule. I will not touch it
That's
at them.
see, that is also like that's where
You got to set your
that's I
boundaries.
think something for me too. Like if you want to have it, separate it. I mean, I'm not in a relationship right now, but like thinking in the future of like, okay, well, if we're gonna have it, you have yours. Like you take care, you prep it, you cook it, and that's it. So,
Yeah, I will cook
um,
all the sides. It's just I don't touch dead things.
yeah,
I
yeah,
do not touch dead things. If you want to eat something like that, all
yeah,
right. But don't cross
yeah.
contaminate my stuff.
Yeah. No, that's no, but it's a real this is so like everything you're saying is so it's very real, like it's authentic, it's raw. Like what people they need to hear. That's what I've always loved and admired about you is like you're not holding back. You don't,
Oh, no, I
I
can't.
want you to,
I
yeah,
don't
I
have
want you to
any.
be, that's what I mean. Like, I mean, also being a mom, right? Like you're at a point you're
Mhm.
like, no, thank you. Um, so
No, they can't be.
yeah, that's the thing though, is just like being raw, but also understanding like people listening are afraid to have those conversations. They're nervous. And I know I've coached people who as well of like they're like, well, I don't, I'm afraid to talk to my husband about this because, I know that he's been this way for so long that I just don't want to ruffle any feathers. I don't want to do this. And um so hearing how you'd approach it is very it's a tactical way, right? It's
Mhm.
you had said kind and be compassionate. And even with my own family, that's what I try to do, or like I'll send recipes. My sister and mom are a lot more open, but we made progress because this year for my 30th, my mom bought a vegan cake for me. She called, asked what I wanted, and so I know. And so I got a vegan cake, and I did request I wanted a vegan cake, so she got it. And everyone in my brother, sister, mom, dad all tried a piece and they were like, wow, this is really good. And then I had a 30th birthday party and one of my best friends made me a vegan cake and everybody was raving about it. They were like, "Oh my gosh, this is the best cake ever. This is so good." And then
How about
and
that?
it's like it's vegan. People are like, "You can't tell the difference." And one of my friends, she's not vegan by any means, but actually she was for a period of time vegan
Mm-hmm.
or plant-based. And then her fiance was not, and he would do all the cooking. So
Mm-hmm.
he would just make her meat and she went back to eating,
Yeah.
chicken and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
so he was making that, but she had said like she felt great being vegan, as did my other friend who was. But she had said she's like, I don't know why people such make such a big deal of it. Like it's not a big deal. Like she's like,
Mhm.
it's food. She's like, I don't understand why people make or put labels on like obsessing over, oh my gosh, it's tofu. Like, what's it gonna do? Like I'm sorry, you're getting protein, you're getting fiber, you're getting nutrients, you're getting phytoestrogens, like you're getting all the anti-inflammatory properties. It's a bean, a bean.
Yeah.
Like
It's
I
a big.
try to remind people, I'm like, you are eating a soybean, but then
Mm-hmm.
people hype up over the word soy, but that's all propaganda. That's from the
Mm-hmm.
dairy industry because the dairy industry saw that soy was creeping up as a competitor. And Derry was like, we gotta come up with something that's gonna send the soy people away. And then they were like, let's start doing studies. Because for
Mm-hmm.
those listening, and I know Chris already knows this, but you always want to check who is funding the research. Who is
Follow
funding
the
the
money.
research? Yes. Who is funding the research of studies? Please always just look. So that's something as well that I learned years ago because people are like, oh my gosh, soy is so bad for you. It's this. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, I was so confused. I'm like, why is it bad for you? What is it? It's just soybean and water and salt. I'm confused. Like, and
Yeah.
it's just because they would say, oh, it grows your boobs. It's like, there was I think it was one study, Dr. Greger said, that
Uh-huh.
a man, like, pretty much all he ate was soy.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, if you ate gallons and gallons and gallons a day, you're going to put on weight just like you would for anything. And so
Yeah.
yeah, your boobs
There
grow
you
out,
go.
whatever.
But yeah,
Like,
if it actually grew breasts specifically, do you think that you could like even have enough at the Publix? Like
yeah.
it would be flying off the
I'm like,
shelves. Like people would be
exactly. I'm like, I always make a joke. I'm still waiting. So like if it's gonna
Yeah.
happen, I'm still waiting. So like, come
Yeah.
on, let's do it. So
Yeah. It's like, hello, where
yeah,
are the boobies? No,
yeah. But that's but
no.
it's really one of those things like people will just there's been a lot of criticism of it, but I know that you've powered through. You're such, an incredible woman that you've, had a healthy, happy pregnancy at 38.
Oh yeah.
And it's like
Easy.
that's what I mean. Like it's just an incredible story. But even those listening that maybe are trying to get pregnant and they're really struggling, and it's like I also truly believe in God's timing. Like
Amen. Yes.
I do believe in God's timing for everything. Um, so I even see for my
Absolutely.
own husband, I'm like, it's God's timing for my husband. Like might not be now, might not be for a few years, whatever it is. It's all in his timing. And um that was the aspects of people listening who might be like, well, what else do I need to try? What else do I do? And for to get pregnant or to go through that process.
Don't
And
try.
I do think it's just change like, but also work to just exercise. Are you hydrating? Are you sleeping? Are you um are you getting movement in and have healthy relationships and eating the right foods and getting the right nutrients, like taking your prenatal, like all these little aspect things that people do not think about to just do and get a coach, get somebody who's knowledgeable in that area.
Hmm.
But you really have you've been so impressive with just you sharing your story and why you went vegan and what you do today. It's like it's very commendable.
Girl, I'm working so hard on it,
You
but I'm
are.
trying to be a good example for my baby now. It's like before it was just for me and to get myself to make myself
Yeah.
a, you know how it's like to get good friends, you have to be a good friend. Well,
Yes.
to
Yes.
become a good mother, you have to
Be a
work
good
on
mother.
you got to be a good mom on the
Yeah.
inside. It's like, am I going to take care of this vessel that's going to produce this child for me?
Yeah.
Yes, the Lord is going to be the one that sets the spark, but am I going to nourish the flame? You
Yeah.
know, absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's like it's definitely something that you have to constantly, every day, consistency over perfection,
Yep.
do a little bit. And as far as like trying to get pregnant, I find that the harder you are trying, the further that butterfly is going to fly away.
That's even with
It's like
dating. Like that's even it's
just
like just let it
forget
go.
it.
Let it go.
Just forget it. Allow whatever happens to happen in divine timing. It's just that I feel like the harder you try, you introduce more stress hormones because you have these build up, build up, build up, and then
Yep.
drop.
Yeah.
And because it didn't happen, or you're worried so much about if you are on your exact ovulation calendar, if you're not doing
Yeah.
everything exactly on the day or within the 10 minutes of before. Girl, enjoy your life. Go enjoy your partner. If you
Yeah.
guys do y'all
That's what matters.
whenever you
That's what
want.
matters. The partner comes
And
first,
yeah,
too.
you've got to have a healthy, happy relationship. I don't know how many people that I have met that have children in the same age group that my son is in, and their marriages have already dissolved because they didn't have any foundation, or they were working so hard on getting the baby that they forgot to nourish their relationship. But when it came down to trying and not trying, it's like we just quit trying. We
Yeah.
didn't think it was possible, so we were just enjoying our time together. If date night developed into something exciting, then it just did.
Yeah.
And I didn't care if I was ovulating or not,
Yeah.
or what part of my cycle we were in. Just don't try. Just don't
Yeah.
try. Enjoy intimacy when it comes, not
Yeah.
if you're trying to put this stuff on a calendar, on date schedule.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work. It just
Yeah.
doesn't seem to anyway. And you put yourself under so much pressure and
Yep.
disappointments. It just doesn't work right. So
Yeah.
if I could give one bit of advice, make yourself a good vessel for a baby and let the Lord do his work. When
Yeah.
the baby wants to come, it'll get here. And even if you are at an advanced age, if you have taken really good care of yourself, like I didn't have any diabetes or any type of complications. I did put on a little bit more weight than I wanted to, but I
But that
really attribute
happens.
that to being um, I went from having such a very structured meal plan
Yeah.
and having everything timed, every calorie is accounted for. I ran my fitness
Yeah.
pal like it was
Your
like my
business.
bank statement. Okay. I mean, and so I went from having a very structured plan to I have a blank check to the kitchen.
Yeah.
Um,
But
and
that's
so
okay though, because you've
but
been
it
there
was, and I
once.
grew a beautiful baby over it.
Yeah.
And so I did not get any stretch marks. It wasn't
Yeah.
awful. I went from 135 to about 196.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's a
You
lot of
carried
baby,
you
but
carried a whole human
a
inside you.
whole
Please
baby.
remember that.
Yeah. And all 8.2 pounds of him. And
Yeah.
and it took a while to get that weight off, because it's another thing I want your ladies to know is that nursing doesn't always make the weight go down.
Yeah.
You don't get that hormonal thing every time. Not every woman's body works the
Yeah.
same way. My body did not do that. I was not able to budge a single pound off of my body despite any amount of effort or any amount of calorie deficit until I stopped nursing altogether. It took me about 4 months of recovery after the last drop of milk left my body to be
Mm.
able to actually get my hormones balanced enough again
Yeah.
to be able to begin working out again. I had this hormone called relaxin that was plaguing my tendons, and I'm pretty hypermobile as it is in the first place. I'm very flexy, and having hypermobility and an increase in relaxin hormone, which makes your body secrete milk,
Yeah.
um, it makes your tendons very floppy and loose. And I sprained my ankles over doing something very simple. Like I literally I scooted the playpen with my knees just a little to scooch to the side
Oh,
so I could sweep the floor and sprained both my ankles. Like,
no.
and I'm like, are you kidding me?
Oh no.
Right now. And I went to the orthopedic and he was like, "Yes, ma'am, this is typical. It's because you're a lactating female and you
Yeah.
are your tendons are just loose." I didn't break anything. No damage was
Yeah.
done. It was just a very light sprain and I recovered from it easily, but um
Still that.
yeah, I want those women to know if I could tell them one thing. They always fill your head up with, "Oh, if you nurse, all the weight will come off." No, it doesn't. Not for
Every
everyone,
woman is
and
different.
certainly not for me.
Yeah. But it's
Every pregnancy is different. Every baby is different, and it's just don't think the breast milk is your ticket to your body coming back, because it's not. And that is so overhyped. I can't tell you how many people told me that, "Oh, just nurse, you'll lose that weight and nothing." It's like, no, it just made me hungrier and it locked my hormones in pregnant mode, and the fourth trimester is real. And you know, I, it's just something that people need to know, that it doesn't always work that way for everybody. And nursing is a very hard job, as hard as making the baby.
yeah.
So yeah, and milk is not free neither way.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you think it's free milk, but no, it comes at a great personal cost.
It's, I mean, everything you've shared, it's just been, I mean, very respectable and I know it's challenging and you had said every woman's different and it's like even with people who follow different lifestyles with eating, I mean, there are
Mhm.
people I know who ate like absolute crap and had great pregnancies, great recoveries, and I'm like, I feel like when it comes to pregnancy, it's every woman has their own body. Like you cannot compare one person's body, one person's hormones, even postpartum, like postpartum depression, even affecting males. Like there's every single person is different and how they respond. And that's something, you've been I just appreciate you sharing everything you have
Mhm.
today. So thank you. Thank you for your time. I know you had said a few pieces of great advice. So I don't know if there's anything else to wrap us up. Is there any other piece of advice that you want to give somebody or that anything else you want to share to those listening?
The most important part that I learned in this whole journey is choose your hard.
Hmm.
No matter what, it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
Do you want it to be hard to bend down and tie your shoes, or do you want it to be hard to live in a calorie deficit for a little while and do your exercises?
Hmm.
Do you want it to be hard to wake up at 5:30 in the morning and do the things that you need to do, or do you want it to be hard because you didn't make time for yourself today?
Hmm.
Like, the choose your hard is probably the most perfect soundbite I could give you of, please take a moment. It's hard either way. Pick the one that benefits you,
Hmm.
and just really decide what's gonna, it's always gonna be hard. anything worth having or worth doing is going to be hard, whether you own the business, whether you are married, whether you are um,
A
working
mother,
out, a mother,
whatever it
being a
is.
parent, all the things, no matter what it is, it's always going to be hard, but you got to find what's worth it.
Yep.
And nothing, nothing that is worth it comes easy or
Yep.
without cost. You got to do the work and work for it and want it bad enough, and don't waste people's time for helping you. You got to help them help you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest thing. But if I had to pick one stand apart thing to like decide, choose your heart,
Perfect.
make up your mind and do it. And that would be the number one for sure. And
Yeah.
that goes with even my relationship, going back to the whole how do I eat vegan while he's eating regular? It's like, well, because I choose my marriage over my dietary preferences and my lifestyle preferences. He was here long before that. He will be here long after that. It's just the fact that I I have to decide that yes, it's hard to see you eat that meat, knowing that what happened to get it there. But you know what? It would be harder to not have you at my table.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's so you saying that though, I think it should resonate with everybody. And even like for me,
that's
listen,
a 20-year marriage,
oh,
baby.
yeah, but that's what I mean. Like it's very inspirational because like I've thought about that too of like what I really am looking for in somebody, in a partner. And I do believe God is my best interest. God knows. Like
We know.
I've given up like I mean, of course I'm selective, but it's
Of
um
course. You must be.
God has I'm like he has the man. I don't need to worry. Like
Mm-mm.
I
You won't be
know that
able
he
to avoid
has
that
it
man.
and yeah.
When the Lord decides that this is the man for you, he's going
Yeah.
to glow like the sun,
Yes.
and he's going to be dropped in your path. And you may ignore him the
Yeah.
first, third, or 10th time, and there he is again. So
He keeps coming back. Why?
when the Lord wants him to be your
Yeah.
dude.
He'll
I
be there.
mean, I'm telling
Yeah.
you, play glowed like a video game character. I mean, you'll know.
Yeah.
You'll know, and just pray about it and pray for that man, whoever he may be, every day. And be
Yeah.
like, help him find me, help me find him. Please let us be together.
Yeah.
And if you want it, baby, just pray for it and it'll come.
Yeah. But
And just like that baby, pray for it
yeah.
and it'll come eventually. Whether,
Yeah.
if it's in God's plan, nothing's going to stop it. So, nothing.
Amen. Well,
You
thank you
know?
so much. Everything was so
Yeah.
wonderful. I so appreciate you having me on,
Yeah.
um,
Welcome.
not me. I appreciate having you on my podcast. And
Oh, I'm glad
um,
to be here.
for anybody that is interested in either Krista's services or just want to follow her, I will include her information below. But everyone, continue to keep living your best life. I hope you all enjoyed today's episode. If you would like to continue to get these episodes first thing, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel on YouTube and on Spotify under Best Life by You. If you're interested in working together, y'all can go ahead and visit bestlifebyyou.com/work with me, or go ahead and follow me on Instagram at NutriFitJulia. Send me a DM or just follow for more information, fun tips, and just a lot of humor. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Let's continue to live the best life by you.